Dad's new church was a hit. Sunday crowds surged. People wanted to have a look. It was described by newspapers and magazines as state of the art. Its large lobby, quite an innovation for its time. The new Calvary Temple was featured in the Pentecostal Evangel and then the popular evangelical magazine Christian Life. Meanwhile, Lester Summerall was not going away. He announced his own new church. It would be built a mile away. A split. The Summeralls could play tough. The year before my marriage, his son was apparently expelled from a boarding school in scandal. We didn't know it or even care, but as an inoculation against negative, they went on the attack. Dark stories are sometimes passed through the halls of churches. Summerall's people suggested my parents had arranged my marriage to cover my orientation. Must have confused me with my brother, and must have thought it would take the heat off their own son. I got a good laugh out of it. And with Gloria pregnant, no one could say I wasn't doing my best for the church. Must have been lonely for Dad, but he had no time to brood or be bitter. He gathered his team and went to work. The offices were humming with activity. In an earlier movie, I said that the church had a school when Dad and Mom took over. Actually, they had a preschool. Mom started the grade school, and in the new church it exploded. Now they had a gymnasium. Nor had Dad's knack of promotion failed him. In 1966, he brought in a boring expository preacher from Great Britain. The man had a photographic memory, but Dad convinced him to shorten his brilliant sermons and open the audience to questions and answers. It caused a sensation. In January 1967, W. Millington packed out the church. People came from all over to ask, where did Lot get his wife? What does the Bible say about flying saucers? And of course, many wanted to argue doctrine. He could answer every question with a chapter and verse from the Bible. We kept him the whole month of January, packing the church out every night. On a bright sunny day in June with a slight breeze in the air, I asked Gloria to take a walk down the street by the church. The baby was coming soon, and I thought the baby just might appreciate seeing his mother ready to go. Boy, was she ever. That very night, June 29, 1967, at 11:42 p.m. at Memorial Hospital in South Bend, Indiana, the world as we know it changed forever. Shannon Douglas Weed was born, 7 pounds 8 ounces. In those days, they used heavy anesthetics, and the fathers had to stay out of the way. I waited for hours. When they wheeled Gloria out of delivery, she was as white as the sheet that was covering her, and I was shocked, wondering if she was in some kind of danger. Her mother, Lena Crane, was waiting with me, very, very nervous. And then they told me the baby was a boy, and all fear and worry disappeared in an instant. I just had a feeling everything was going to be okay. I stood by the window and looked at my firstborn son for hours at a time. Other fathers and mothers and grandparents and families came and went throughout the night and all through the next day, but I was glued to that wonderful sight. I'm sure Mom and Dad stopped by, and members from the church too, but I have no memory of any of it. Only memories of that little baby boy beyond the window. Every facial expression, every move was a wonder. Now that we were 3, we were moved into the Strader's old parsonage, which the church youth appropriately TP'd. It was like a mansion after the little church apartment, and so Shannon Weed spent the first hours and days and weeks of his life in South Bend, Indiana. I couldn't get over how tiny a newborn baby is and wanted to make sure I had a good record for comparison. Mom couldn't believe she had another boy. What could she do? When Shannon was dedicated, I couldn't help but feel he was destined for great things, though I never would have imagined him as a partner in a law firm. We spent a lot of time together those first weeks. I even read him the sports page. That's where he gets it, you know. But the best was yet to come.